Welcome to Real Estate Real Talk with me, Skyleigh. I'm a realtor, coach, and founder of Forever Kamloops and Forever Kelowna Real Estate Groups and the creator of Elevation Real Estate, the realtor coaching platform. After nearly a decade in this industry, I've built a business that gives me more freedom, more income, and more time with the people I love. And now I'm here to help other realtors do the same. This podcast is for agents who want to build a thriving real estate business without burning out. We talk about scaling smart and building systems so you can buy back your life, because life shouldn't feel like all work and no play. And if you're a buyer or seller tuning in, consider this your backstage pass. You'll hear unfiltered conversations with top agents and industry pros, giving you the same insights we share behind closed doors. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better you can advocate for yourself and work with someone who truly has your back. Let's get real. Okay, today we are with Phil LeGree, award-winning realtor based in North Vancouver. I am super excited for our conversation today, Phil, because stats, I mentioned to you, they're not always my jam, and anybody who can share with me information that I'm unaware of or teach me something is like amazing. So I'm super excited for us to talk about that. But before we get started, you have a background spanning television, media. You have over 3 decades of experience in sales, marketing, and negotiations. You're one of the top agents in Canada and repeatedly honored as one of the best in North Vancouver. And then other cool fact that I actually just learned about Phil, you guys, is that he is an educator for Greater Vancouver Realtors. He's been asked to speak in Chilliwack and other areas in the Lower Mainland as well. These courses that you are providing are PDP accredited. So for anybody who's listening who is not aware of what that means, there is a certain amount of education credits that we need to get every 2 years when we renew our license here in BC. So Phil actually is providing courses in order for people to get their education credits, which is absolutely amazing. He does talk about statistics in those courses. So I'm really excited to have you here today, Phil. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And yeah, is there anything you want to add?
I'm so excited to be here. No, I'm just like exhausted and tired thinking I've been doing all that for that long. But
you just like wake up and you're like, wait, what? Like, where did all of these years go?
Yeah, 25 years in the television media and advertising, and people say, you changed careers. No, I didn't. I'm still taking care of people. I'm servicing people. I get up every day saying, how can I make somebody's life better? What can I give to help them succeed buying or selling a home? So in advertising, it was the same thing. How can I run a great ad campaign on television, something for them? So it's the same thing. And I'm lucky. I get up and I'm excited every day to do this. And Greater Vancouver Realtors, after the name change came out, and I suggested a course. Do you have a course on this, stats package that they offer? And they went, no, would you come and teach it? I went, no, I'm too busy. Anyway, so many years later, I'm still teaching the course for the Greater Vancouver Realtors. And lucky enough, I've been honored, and the Victoria Real Estate Board has asked me to teach, and also the Chilliwack Real Estate Board. And I get to meet agents. It's just great having that connection with people.
Yeah, I love all of the networking opportunities, and I feel like the industry as a whole is really starting to lean into like it being a community and everyone working together. And I'm huge on relationships. I do really love that they're pushing things in that direction. And yeah. I mean, real estate can sometimes feel like you're on an island alone, especially if you're a solo agent. So when you are networking and you're going to these courses and you're meeting these people, and you can, people who understand the industry is really nice to have. That being said, you were talking about media and all of that kind of stuff, which leads me to the first question, which is why agents and clients listen to headline media. I think this is a very interesting question. What's your perspective?
God. It makes me crazy. It makes me mental. Hey, sales are up, sales are down. Market, hey, we're all going to die. It's just nonsense, these headline snippets. The news is bad news only. They'll report on a good story, but what Phil's saying, the average person tells something good happens to you, you'll tell 2 or 3 people. And something bad happens, you tell about a dozen. So I just listened to, I remember one time here, and I heard it on the TV, newspaper, saw it, radio, everyone. And it was like price of a home here in Vancouver went $1 million over asking. And I got invited back then onto CKNW radio, and they were just happened to do something like this. And they said, "Did you hear this, Phil?" And I go, "Yeah." Guess what else happened that day? Somebody died. And they went, "Oh my God, who?" And I go, "I don't know. Lots of people died
Lots.
that day. Not
Yes.
everybody. It's not a statistic. One home at the start of the insane market went $1 million over asking. That's just a number. And as I say, when I talk about numbers, I talk about specifics that people talk about. The average price of a house in Canada. Why don't we factor car price in that? Because between your one-bedroom condo, your multi-million-dollar house, and the town, it's irrelevant. It's nonsense information. And again, I say to people, if you believe in a real estate market, then I'd like to send you the Canadian weather forecast every day. Please dress appropriately. There isn't a city anywhere in the world where the local weather forecast covers all area, is there? So same thing.
No.
There's no such thing as a real estate market. There's a house market, a townhouse market, a condo market. And guess what? Those change drastically by neighborhood.
Yeah.
But people listen to these snippets, and I'm going, no, stop it. So I understand what you're hearing, and I always acknowledge that. To fight that, I say, I understand what you're hearing, and that makes sense. But you're not selling something in the everywhere or a generic number. You're selling a 3-bedroom townhouse in this neighborhood. So those numbers are this. And then people go, oh, but you don't say, hey, you're wrong. So you understand what they're hearing and acknowledging, and then you go a step further and say, how can I help you with that? This is the local number.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that it's interesting what the media can do, because even thinking about like the economy as a whole, right? Like people, obviously we've gone up and down for the market over the last number of years with COVID and then the interest rates and all of the things, right? But it's interesting because people are like, we're going into a recession, there's a bubble, it's gonna pop, and they have all of this dialogue. But the funny thing is that I'm like, you do realize that the economy and everything is controlled by human behavior. So you saying this is actually doubling down on the group mentality of what's going to happen, which actually is what controls it in the first place.
Thank you. And yes, and unfortunately, sadly, agents like to run around and wave the flag of bad news or this or that, or someone lost their license. And actually, just last week, I could tell you actually, right now in my neighborhood, sales doubled. They went up 100%. Isn't that phenomenal? Yeah, the previous month there was one sale, and last month there was two.
So you're
That's a
only getting like a
fact.
snippet of the information and
So
thinking
what?
it's something
One
else,
sale to
right?
two when there should have been 20. It's still nonsense news, but that's what the news want. They want headline news and they want snippets. So I'm always telling people, listen to everything you have, and even the fact that I worked in television 25 years, listen to your news, realizing it's 75 to 85% wrong and mostly 3 to 6 months old, and let's go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 to 6 months old. That's another piece that I always find quite funny because when people are like, everything, all these things are happening and we're going to get multiple offers and all this stuff. I'm like, by the time you hear about it, it's almost gone. Because by the time you hear about it, it happened like back there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not an actual like timestamp of like now.
No, it's like people right now, the buyers. I'm streaming, start your car, start the car all the time, from that IKEA commercial. Like it's the best time to buy. I think across Canada, strange generic statement, but I know in the lower mainland, from ever, the rates have come down. I believe they'll come down more, he said, praying and wishing. But there's just so many interesting things about it that it's the right time. When the ball bounces at the bottom, when it hits the bottom, it'll go back up so fast. Markets always increase so fast, and you can't wait it out. Say, what's that? I love some of those generic statements. It says, don't wait to buy real estate, buy real estate.
And wait, yeah.
My buyers are like, oh no, but what if the price goes down? I go, oh, that's a huge concern. You're worried about that. And they're, yeah. And I go, I can alleviate that completely. I guarantee you, stake my career, my paycheck, everything on it. Whatever you buy will go down in price. And they're like, what? I said, it will reduce in price, whatever you pay. and increase and reduce and increase like stocks do.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever
7 to
bought
10 year
anything, and
cycle, people.
it goes up and down. And try and sell it in December or January. It's not going to sell as maybe a mill in March or April. So yeah, prices go up and down. But let's just calculate your return on rent now. That's $2,500 times 12 months times 4 years, and the return is nothing, like
Yeah.
zero. So even if you bought a place and the interest rates are coming down and you're paying towards the principal, you win, even if it doesn't go up in price.
Yeah. Even if you sold it for the same amount of money that you bought it for 10 years before,
You're way ahead.
which is obvious. That's not even going to happen either, right? Like everything, it's a
No,
10-year, it's a 7 to 10 year cycle. You're going to do this, but it's always like
on the way.
slowly creeping up. Like when you look at the historic.
And I'm bragging because everyone thought I was a financial genius when I got my first mortgage, way before I was ever in real estate, still in TV. And I was only paying 11.75%.
I've heard this
So
story so many times from people too.
5-year fixed. I did not know a human being under 13%. And they
Yeah.
had all experienced 15, 18, and 20%, had to walk away from home. So when it went under 10, that was free money. And now I just got a couple mortgages for around 4%. I'm like,
Woohoo. I know. Actually, I had a mortgage broker friend of mine last week. She told me that there's some lenders doing some promos on a 3-year fixed for 3.99.
wow.
And then there's even another one that if you have a insured mortgage, they're going to do 3.69. Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal numbers.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, we're getting cozy again. But the market is still, the fear mongering of like unpredictability in the market has still paralyzed a lot of people. But I'm like, you got to do opposite of what everybody else is doing. Because right
Yes.
now, since there's nobody else there, you have way more negotiation power. I'm like, don't wait for everybody else to go.
Start the car.
If
Start the
everyone
car.
else, yeah, exactly. I'm like, if everyone else is freaked the hell out, you go right on some properties. You're gonna have more negotiation power than anyone else.
They said
So
that
funny.
billionaires and super rich people make more money on the crash of a stock market than the increase and every other one. This is supposed to be Richard Robbins, I love, and has the most wonderful numbers across Canada. And he came out and he was talking about most agents have done in Canada, have done 2 deals or less this year. And I'm like, oh, okay. I started the year with 12 or 15, and I've done 4 or 5 in the past week. Again, like the weather forecast on the market, I refuse to participate. And anyone that does is just, but it's like, we know you can't make money in the summer. As a real estate agent, it's guaranteed you cannot ever make money in the summer if you're not working. And yeah, people say, if you're not working, you're not going to make money. But I'm having a phenomenal summer and going, I think this year, this horrible year in real estate, will be my best year ever, my largest income.
Yeah, when everyone else is taking time off, you're like, you gotta
Gain
lean
ground.
in and have those conversations. Like,
Yeah.
the conversations are so important. If you're an agent that is also terrified about the economy and the market, you're not going to go,
No.
you're not going to be near as successful as the people who
Correct.
are seeing it for what it actually is. Which brings me to my next question.
Please.
I want to know the latest trends and takeaways for the market right now. You're the stats guy.
People talk about what's coming next, like video is a big thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not coming. Nothing to do with video is ever coming. It's been here 10 years. So, like, people that are nervous about using video, then I'll have to say, please do more of it, tons of it. But don't do any of this. Hey, look, I'm an agent. These are my nose hairs, and I'm shooting them behind me. And there's 2 bedrooms, and there's and over there, and you see the view, and you look like you're having a fit. If you're nervous about being on camera, good, you don't need to be. Just turn that camera around and stand in one position and click record. Hi, it's Phil, and I just wanted to show you this beautiful place. Upstairs, there's 3 bedrooms and 3 full bathrooms, and you're moving this fast. Just, yeah, that's it. Oh, hey, it's Phil. I'm just down at the beach, and I wanted to share this gorgeous sunset. Never on camera. Years and years, I did everything and tons of video and following people. None of, hey, this is me, my nose. I'm walking to the gym and just shoot video. So that's it for technology. For like, video's not coming. It's been here 10 years, so jump on.
Okay, so
Technology,
I want to say
AI,
something about that too, and
please.
I'm curious to know your perspective on this because I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day, and I was going to send out a survey to
Yes,
all of the clients that I have in my database and ask them when you are looking at homes to purchase, what marketing asset are you looking at the most that is helpful for you to decide whether or not it's a house that you actually want to look at? You know, like my mascot in the background, she's just
that's all
like all
right.
over the
That-
place right
yeah.
now. I always have her
No,
on my
that's a
social
great guy,
media.
but that survey has been done about 400.
Okay, I need to look. I was curious for my
It
like for
should.
my clients because a lot of times I see all these agents, right? I do pay for videography as well, not on all
Yes.
of the properties. Most of them I do a quick intro in the beginning and then like we're talking about the property,
Mm,
clipping to like the panoramic views and the beautiful deck and like the RV parking, all that, right?
yeah.
But what I've noticed, and I this is like a trend, is that there's a lot of agents that are putting on like a show on the listing, but it seems like it's more about them than the house. And I'm curious,
Absolutely.
I'm like, who are you? What is this marketing for? I'm like, are you doing it to sell the house or are you doing it? What's the mindset around it? It's such a trend. And I'm like, who are you
It's an
marketing
ego
to
stroke.
exactly?
It's an
Right?
ego stroke for themselves. It just sadly it is. And when you do that, like I said, I'm not dealing with many children. And I'm on X, Blue Sky, every media you could do. I've done them all because I come from that background of television. I am exposed to everything everywhere. But I see these videos and people are putting out thousands on them. And I'm sorry, but these millennials may be old enough, people in their 20s, and they're beautiful and they're lounging around the pool and they're having wine. They drove up in their Porsche. I've never lived in a neighborhood where all the 20-year-olds had multi-million dollars. So what I believe you're exactly right. You're creating a movie. So what is it
Yeah.
about this home? And I'm like you. I'm like, hi, it's Phil. Thanks for coming to take a look at this. Have a look at the video, and I hope we'll be able to experience this home together. A nice invitation. And just do that. And then, like I said, then show the home. All the surveys show that video rates higher than anything. And that will lead them going into good footage. I'm amazed at how many people are now clicking on my, what do you call it? The 3D Matterport tours. Because of the Matterport tour, and most people don't know, do an intro video for that. Do you know when we're watching a Matterport tour, you can click on the mouse, click on the measuring button, and drag it across a countertop and measure a counter or a wall or a height,
Mhm.
or you could fit your. So that kind of stuff, the video, the Matterport, and AI. I mean, I could create myself as an AI looking probably better than this. Anyway, to come on the interviews, but to go into AI, and before I would even do an open house or do a showing or anything or get that listing, I've gone in to use ChatGPT or whichever one you're using. It doesn't matter. Don't use them all. Just focus. And give me the 10 top reasons that somebody would want to live in this neighborhood if they had a family or whatever you think it might be. And the stuff that comes back is just gorgeous. Great. Can you now write me a description of this home, which is built into most of our MLS systems and AI stuff now, or CRM, and the wonderful wealth of give me a warm version of this. Give me a version of this that might attract more to men and one that might attract more to women, but and ask the longest questions on earth. But I have some of the best write-ups, and people are saying, "Oh my God, you described that so well." And then in my intro, like this is where I've come to that. So the view from here, I mean, it shows nice on photos, but I hope we get to experience this view together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Call your agent right now to set up a private showing or join us this weekend at the open houses and invite warm communication. Most of my listings, I think, have still come from open houses.
Yeah,
But
I definitely agree. And I think that like when we're talking about like you're using ChatGPT and then you're asking for the reasons why someone would want to live in this neighborhood. Or even I'll ask my client, I'll be like, what were your like favorite parts of living in this house? And that's what I'm trying to like communicate and share with everyone because
yeah,
those are the things that I want to highlight. Like I'm not wanting to
that's
like prance around in a house, and I'm like, what is the attention supposed to be on exactly? Like, it's supposed to be on the house. So I love that you're, it's
Yeah,
kind of the
I like
same.
that. A great company years and years ago, I don't know if there was called Hobbs Herder, and they did branding for agents and they did seminars, and they came out and they said, you know how you get to the front door and charge in there and get to the kitchen table. They said, never do that again in your life. Get to the front door and go, hi, Kathy, Bob, we had an appointment at 4 o'clock, and look, it's just 4 o'clock now. You're telling them you're on time. And then you step in and you go, you know what, before we sit down and have our meeting, could I ask the two of you to give me a tour of your home and just tell me all about it? So, who likes a meeting? Oh, yeah, nobody. And who wants to? Let's sit down and you're going to tell me how much less my home is worth than it really is. Because they know way more than us. So, stop at that door. Tell them you're on time, because people, oh, remember, Phil was on time. They won't, but you've told them that. And then let's do that tour right now. Would that be okay? And we walk through the house, and things like there's a room with a pool table. So, Bob, you want to have another one of these pool tables in here? And you wait for it. No, he's not. No, he's not. What do you have? What would you put in this room? By the time you finish that tour, and I'm recording it, audio, more about that home than you could ever do with any questionnaire. So doing that personal, having a tour of their home, it finishes only one way, with you get the listing and something to drink and cookies, because they have to. Then when you get to the kitchen table to talk paperwork, they're offering you things, and you've got a whole rapport going now.
Yeah, yeah, the trust and the rapport that you build. I remember when I first started in real estate, my mentor, we used to do exactly what you were saying. That's what are you doing? The getting in the door, you go sit down, you do your presentation, like all of that. And the conversion rate was not great. And then I ended up going through a number of coaching programs after that. And it was all relationship building.
Yeah,
And now I actually send my like my marketing sales package
yeah,
to them before I even walk in the door.
pre-listing package, of course.
Yeah, because I'm like, I want them to go over it. I want them to see the reviews. I want them to see the marketing materials, and that they can, if they think have questions about it, great, we can talk about it when I get there. However, when I get there, I don't want it to be the first thing that we talk about it. I want to build the relationship and walk through the house
Yeah,
and learn about all of the things that they loved about living there, because that's what I'm going to be using in order to help market the property in order to sell it. And then they
yeah.
can ask me questions about what they had
And
seen
they live
in the
there. They're
package,
proud
right?
of it.
So,
They
mhm.
live there. They're proud of it. They will tell you what they like and
It's,
what they don't like.
people love talking
By the
about
way,
themselves. Give them
love
all the
it.
opportunity
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
It's
it's wonderful.
amazing.
Look at
Yeah,
the
I definitely
neighborhood.
agree. So then, how do you think social media and technology has shaped and changed the real estate world?
It's funny to hear people, oh, an AI is going to take my job and stuff. No, I do believe the statement that the agent that uses AI, not and clones themselves and does all these other ridiculous things, but the agent that uses AI to have more knowledge when you, like you said, when you walk up to that door and you walk in, you are well aware of. But there's that little Japanese restaurant down the place there, and I know there's Greek food just around the corner. Your shopping's under 2 blocks away, isn't it? And they're like, yeah. And I won't let an agent do an open house for me if they haven't done that. I teach a little, because there can be, and especially newer agents, there could be my head on the lawn, 20 by 30, just giant. And then they will walk up to Kathy, who's doing the open house, and say, hey, nice listing you have here. They have no idea that it's whoever's there. I teach an open house course. People say, well, why do you do open houses? To get more clients. No, you mustn't ever. There's one reason to do an open house, and it's to learn as much as you can. So when you're standing in it, people, you'll try and sell them that home. We'll try and help them buy it, try and make them want to buy it, whether it's your listing or not, just everything about the neighborhood and the thing. Because why would I hire you as my agent? People say, no, it's to get new listings. So I walk up to the door and I say, can I be your agent? Can I have your listing? If this isn't right, I live in the neighborhood. Can I be your listing? Can I be your agent? So why would they hire you to sell their house when all you're going to do at the open house there is try and get new clients? It stands out so differently. I'm trying to sell the home I'm in and not drill it, and I won't walk into a bedroom. I make people stay back. Nobody wants four people, and this is the wall and the floor and stay out of the bedroom, stay in the hall. But when you again are making a relationship with these buyers on their own, walking around, telling them some highlights and some lowlights, that robin's egg blue, the sink and the toilet in the bathroom, you won't be able to buy those anymore. And they laugh. But let people have their own time and have more people say, do you have an agent? Yes, I do. It's about 75% of people that tell me they have an agent when they walk in at the end say, we know other agents. And I go, sure. Would you be interested in coming and having a look at our house to see what it might be worth? Wow, it would be my great honor. But to walk around saying, can I have your money? 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 Can I be your agent? Can I be your agent? No. You're on stage, perform. It's like being a great chef. I'm a great cook. Somebody's going to shut up and make me a sandwich or something. We have the free opportunity to perform for all of these buyers, and the buyers are always going to sell, or mostly. So
I love it. I 100% agree. I think that what you focus on expands as well. So if you are saying that I'm only here to get new clients, that's just, you're missing the point. You're supposed to be there to work for your client, which
yeah,
you're the client that you already have, which
even if it's
is,
not your client, and that's the thing. So new
yeah.
agents
So like you should be
don't go looking for it.
marketing the home and
Exactly.
selling the home and showing the feeling. And if they do have an agent, cool. Let me book you a second showing with your agent now that you love the house.
Yes. And
Like,
that's when the truth comes out. We're not exactly firm in that, but taking people through an open house, giving them space and time and honesty. So, and they say, wow, you seem to know a lot about this neighborhood. I'm going to behave the same way when I sell your house. So I want you to see how good, what, and I drop all those little subtle, when I sell your house, I'll be just the same. And I think it's important that when you come to a home, you are given all the information, good and bad.
yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I would rather people know all of the things up front. Like they're gonna,
Yeah,
yeah, all of the things. One last question, because
please.
we're coming up to our 30-minute mark, and I feel like
I've been all over
the,
the map. Sorry.
huh?
I've been all over the map. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
this has been absolutely phenomenal. I love the quick podcasts because I feel like you get all the quick nitty gritty and some really
Yeah.
good information out of it. And people can listen to a whole podcast when it's 30 minutes. When it's like super long, I find it hard for people to stick with it, or they get halfway and then they don't listen to the
Right.
rest again. I'm trying to see which ones do better. So
Sure.
that's why I want to keep it to the 30 minutes. However, I think that you probably have a really good answer for this. And I want to know the latest technology that you've been using that has been delivering really good results for clients.
Okay. Thanks. The use of AI in descriptions and knowledge of a neighborhood has been phenomenal. The fact that my CRM, we happen to use Reach, but before I was with Keller Williams, they used Command. Whatever CRM you have, every time you're dealing or talking with anyone, you open it up and record it, or directly after. I just talked to Sheila, and she said, go ahead, lower the price based on this and this, is making notes of everything. So before you talk to them the next time, you look at your last conversation. So literally, I record a note for everyone, and I just do it via audio too. And it'll type out, and it'll be spelt wrong, and who cares? So that with the AI and using that one, and then using the AI, what can I do to help my clients? I do a lot of virtual staging. There's some phenomenal companies that do virtual staging. I've been using Box Brownie for years, which is take an empty room, or I've had luxury homes on the water that are just, they wouldn't have been on an episode of Hoarders. They would have been the season finale. Really bad. And renters. So I've had entire homes emptied and then restaged, and I make sure they say that. But using all those tools and then saying, how can I help my client? What do they need? And I think my best example was we were walking through a house, parents, two kids, which I say to them, they're all staying together. Nobody's running around. It's not Jim Marie. And I do it when people come to my house. Nope, just so you know, you're holding hands with the kids. Nobody's running around here. Everyone stays together. When you take control and tell people what they have to do, new level of respect. The kids were just, no, they're not choosing anything. Keep them with you at all times. So my sellers appreciate that. And then we were in the yard and they said, oh, Dad, this will be the best place for a dog. And I went, do you have a dog? I said, no. I said, you're getting one. I said, yeah, could I ask what you're getting? They said, I don't know. We're looking into it and doing some research. And I went, great. And I take these things. So I went back home, opened up ChatGPT. Again, I'm not pushing any particular one. And I said, could you give me a list of the top 20 dogs that are family friendly, child friendly, how much they cost, how much they shed, how long they live, what do they eat, purebred or not? I'm going to ask like all these questions, and that's the whole thing. With ChatGPT, your question has to be 800 words long for the best answer. Just keep going on and on and on. And then I said, don't make anything up or lie, because I want you to tell me the truth. And it came back a second later in a chart, and it had all these dogs lined up from and I said, sort by the most friendly. And so from the Labradoodles and the Poodles and the this and the that and all of the things about them. And I looked at this and I went, this is more information than I could have ever known about dogs in my life. And I waited about a half hour and I sent it to the family, emailed it. The whole family phoned me back a couple hours later and said, we know what we're getting. This is the most helpful thing. I can't believe you are always going over the top for us. It was like, so when you're walking through a house with somebody and they ask a question, listen for them. Remember the 2 ears, 1 mouth things, although I talk too much all the time. It's okay. But listen for what their wants and needs are and go and do some research and sending it to them. Nothing to do with selling the house. You've got your chat, the AI, the descriptions, the everything you can do, the staging, but just their day-to-day questions that you supply answers to. They will love you.
Yeah, I love all the trust and rapport that you have been leaning into in this conversation for sure. I think it's so important, and
Yes.
using AI in order to even figure out like they mentioned the type of food that they like. You can give them a list of the restaurants, all the things. But that wraps us up for today. Thank you so much for our meet. There's so many good nuggets. So where can people find you? Which social media platforms, or how do they connect with you if they want to learn more about
Try
your
not
business, if they want to send
finding me.
referrals to you, all the things?
Yeah, try not finding me. I love send referrals down. I do lots every year from all different brokerages and companies. I'm happy. So you will just Phil and Lagree. You'll see it on the
And you're going
screen.
to pop up.
If you search that, I will be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, and anything else. Oh, there goes my dog. Anything, but just please find me and reach out just to connect, just to link up. I love to connect with people all over the city. One of my things that I say to all clients all the time is, hey, if you're thinking about buying a real estate, please reach out to me. I want to be your chosen real estate agent, even if it's going to be some time before you intend to move. And if you're moving to some other area, neighborhood, city, country, again, first reach out to me, because I'd love to put you in touch with somebody that I'll be helping you watch them all the way through, part of the process. And I think last year, one from Atlanta, a couple from Toronto, some from the interior BC. I get and share referrals all the time, and I love to do that because, hey, the more we all work together, the better we all get.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And you doing these podcasts is a wonderful service. I can't thank you enough. It's really terrific.
No, it was so great having you. And there's so many more questions that I want to ask, but I do feel like we need to split it up into two. So thank you again. And I'm going to put all of your contact information in the show notes as well.
Thanks. I look forward to doing another one.
That's a wrap on this episode of Real Estate Real Talk. Whether you're an agent building your business or a buyer or seller trying to get the real story, thanks for being here. If this episode gave you clarity, confidence, or just something to talk about, I'd love for you to follow, rate, and share the show. It helps more people find these conversations. If you have questions or want to connect, head over to SkyleighMcCallum.com or come hang out with me on Instagram. Thanks for listening, and I hope you catch the next episode on Real Estate Real Talk.